Howdy, howdy, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am live. Yeah, I'm live. Look at me. I'm just nonchalantly sitting here in the studio. I got the close up camera here, of course. Picking up where we left off earlier. I opened up some new lighting and it's all over the floor. That's kind of why we got this this angle here going. And yeah, so I just want to make sure that the live is working. And it is. But the real question is, why is it not monetized? I don't know. Is it all about the money? No, it's not all about the money. It's also about, you know, doing things correctly. That's very important. Let's see here. Little fingers. Okay. So you just want to make sure that when you're setting up your videos that everything is copacetic. The word of the day. Haha. Kosher. Grand. All in line with the priorities of the channel, which the priorities of the channel is to make sure that you're monetized and make sure that that I am providing a service to you, which is just having fun. That's really what we're doing. We're having a good time. I don't know if I turned my big light on earlier when I was doing it. I was doing a video about lighting and I didn't even have my light on. Fun times. So let's just make sure. I think what I figured out last time is that if I bring it up on YouTube, then I can see you. Yeah, I can see the chat a little bit easier. Let's see. Yahtzee. Haha. Where are you? There I am. Easier. Okay, we're muted, but I can see the live chat just in case you want to jump on, and I will go liking the video. Always make sure you like, make sure you comment, and subscribe to the channels that you watch because it really helps out those channels. Now, my lives are just very open-ended. There's nothing here except for me chatting with you. I'm talking to you right there, that guy right there in the back, and you, the girl over there on the left, and the other person, they over there. I'm just saying, I'm talking to everybody. You're all included, the whole group. So I have the new lighting from Amazon, and I believe the name is Kshioe. It's Kshioe. I'm not sure how to pronounce it at the moment, but so here's what we have. It's right here. There's the name. So this is the primary bag that was in the box. Everything else is kind of smaller pieces. So I want to open this one up first. So I'm guessing it's the stand pieces because I did get a new one of these. It's not ideal for the setup, but I'm in a open basement from side to side, which is almost the whole length of the house. So for me, what I've decided to do is use these as a divider, and then it also doubles as my backdrop. It also doubles as my divider. It doubles back as my wall. I can customize this. If I don't want to do green screen, I can drop the other screen down. If I wanted, I could buy a separate backdrop. So I have options, and if I were to turn the whole setup around, there's a white wall behind me. Yeah, that's kind of boring, you know? So I could use the aesthetic quality of some things in the background. I do have some other thoughts about how I want to set this up, but for right now, that's what I'm doing. So I recently, whoa, that unfolded. Made me nervous. So recently I started up my Amazon affiliate marketing again because I've done sales in the past with different jobs, but it was for products that I really didn't believe in. When it comes to this right here, is my head cut off? I just know, oh, there he is. I was like, where's my head at? I was scrolled down on the computer. So these products are things that I'm using every single day. I've used these lighting. I'm not. Let me check. Just out of curiosity, I think they were Oh, they're Graphy. So my lighting that I have right now is Graphy. Kshioe Lighting. And they've lasted me quite a long time, and I am happy with their services so thus far. So just something to keep in mind. These lightings, they work, and I've used them for years, and that's just something to have in the back of your head. That if you're going to be using lighting, and if you're going to do affiliate marketing, use it with products that you already use. And these products are identical to what I'm already using right now. And this one's going to go, it might go over there. And then what I might do is I might turn this one, I don't know yet. It's a work in progress. What I was thinking was, depending on how I do it, and this is, talking about the layout of my basement for my studio, is the space next to this one I want for my wife to have her own setup down here. So I have 2 of these stands. Now, if I do it correctly, I could potentially have 3 of the poles, one on each side and one in the middle, and then have the 2 tarps spread out between them. And I could have the 4th one in the corner. See what I'm saying? So use the middle one to clip to both sides, like this one, and then just have one this way and one that way. And then that way it's walled off completely. So that's my thoughts on that, because I can always control how long the other one is. And what I like about doing it that way is that if my wife didn't want to see my backdrop, she can just hang a tapestry from the pole. Actually, now that I think about that, that probably won't work as well. And here's why, unfortunately, just thinking about it like this. So there's a pole that goes along the top of these that holds the top of it up. If I do 3 walls, then one of those wouldn't have the pole at the top. So it would kind of fall down a little bit. So I might have to rethink that strategy. But that's what these tests are for. So right now we're just getting this stuff opened up and playing around with it, And if you are interested in starting a studio space, or if you want to get into YouTube, these things they're not very expensive. You can start any hobby these days with under $200 and get yourself going. I mean, you don't even need the $200. You could do everything with a bedroom lamp and a telephone, and a cell phone. Everything can be done with what you have in your pocket, really. I bought a ring light. I think it was $20. I mean, there's the tech. How do I want to say it? Technology shouldn't be the issue. You just gotta find yourself. You gotta find the thing that you're passionate about, and just turn the camera on. Start right now. No, and I'm serious. I mean, I want you to watch my videos, but I mean, click away right now and start that camera and start filming. Start your project. Start something. You got to stay active. That's my creed, my motto, my saying. You got to stay positive. You got to stay active, and you got to stay awesome. These things will carry you through. It's so important. I love the tech side of stuff. I love talking to myself. I'd love it more if somebody would comment now and then. I love chatting with people. I love going to other channels and chatting with them. It's just fun to interact and just share stories. It's who we are as people, and it's what I love. So, yeah. You have a bag here. It unfurls, it unwraps, and it's got sections in it. 3 different sections. This one is for holding basically the screen backdrop. It's going to hold the 2 outer poles and the top pole, and it rolls right up, and it folds up pretty good too. And it's, I don't know how the system works, but I know that these products are basically the same as what I already have. with some slight variation. Right now I'm using a boom light. It's a boom light because it has the counterweight for the sandbags, so that you can have it over top of you, and then you put a weight in the other side so that it doesn't tip over. So that's what I'm using as my primary light right now. I have the other two lights over there. I just don't need them. I just opted for this one because it has a longer arm. So there's, again, versatility and options for what you use your stuff for. Now these ones should be the lighting kit. And again, notice as I open these up, notice how they're all bagged up. So if you had a tote bag, you could slide all of this into a separate tote bag, and you could wheel this to your gig. If you're doing photography, you could set up on site. Everything's accessible. That's the point. So this is going to be, ooh, what's this? Something. Probably a film or something. So this is one of our light boxes. This one's a little bit better than the one that I have currently. So what I just did there is that there's this ring in the side here. And it was pulled out like this, which allows it to collapse. Mine doesn't do that. And then you just push it in and around the edges to lock it into place, and then you can kind of shape it a little bit. That's nice. I like that. The one thing I noticed is that it doesn't seem to be as heavy as the ones that I have now. So that's nice. I like that. But all the lighting's in here. So these have to be built, basically. They could theoretically go onto these ones, but that's not what those are for. They're a little bit smaller too, which again, I like the fact that it's more compact for what it is that I do and what I need them for. I believe there was 4 of them, or maybe it's 2 lights, but they come with the different light boxes. Oh, it actually comes with the bag. So yeah, I mean, look, it comes with the full kit bag. So if you wanted to, I mean, you would legitimately. I mean, it's amazing, and it's under $100. You pack everything up with you, and you're on the go, and you can set up on site, and you just practice, get repetition down. You can have these set up probably in, I'm guessing, maybe 10 minutes. Just thoughts, like in terms of getting all this set up and everything. So these are curious as to how the umbrellas go on. These are diffusers that go, I think they're diffusers. What's this? Okay, so this is a light sheath that goes over this. So I will have to look real quick because I'm not sure how. So that's a diffuser, the light sheath that goes over the top of the box, the light box that's here. And then we've got the clamps. Clamps. They go on the outside of these poles that I have here that hold your backdrop up. So we want to have those separate because those are going to be my wall. Then we have our lights, but I'm curious because there's longer boxes, so there's just more things, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get all this set up, and you're gonna see how I've kind of got it around here. Okay, so these are the poles. I was nervous for a second. So these look very similar to the poles for the backdrops, except for instead of having the wing nut with a screw at the top, this actually has a basically just a, what you want to call it, is a bevel here to lock the cone into place. So that's going to come up like this. And you can adjust the height for where you need it to be. And yeah, you definitely don't want to go too tight with this plastic because it'll snap your spin there. So with my old set, I actually had to build this. This was separate. These little rods come out and everything. With this, it just comes in the 2 pieces and as quick as this. Like you just, and with the old one, it was so heavy that it would fall. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I don't think this spins either. I think the other ones would spin, but maybe it's because they're old and but I mean, look at this. 2 pieces. This one just pushed together. This one just stood up. You slide this on with one hand. Make sure that you're level for where you want it to be, because it's going to bite into that bevel. And if you have it off-centered, then and that's why there's a window on the side so you can see how that's going to sit. And this should go right underneath that little bevel to catch it. And now we've got our first light fixture there like that. But so this is only one light in here. And this is what I was saying. I'm not sure how the umbrellas go in there. That's really what I'm curious about, because that's the one I want to use for the diffuser. So I'm guessing somewhere in here there's going to be an attachment maybe, or the way that the lights are. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Somebody's moving upstairs. It's the middle of the night, so I don't know who's up. Anyway, so is there instructions? They're at the bottom of the box, you know. Who needs the instructions? Ow, me. That's it. Okay, so here's what's pictured on here. Fascinating. Okay, so how does that work? So that is interesting. Okay, so does it go through that then? No, that must be a separate thing. And is that in there right? Yeah, that's probably fine. Okay, so from what's pictured here, basically is what's happening is it's showing that it's got the multiple light stands and then it's got the backdrops with the bag. So that means what that tells me is that these other light fixtures should be in here. So this one's slightly bigger, so this one might already have the neck on it for where the bulb goes in. That doesn't have the light shroud. No, that's another one. That's another one with a clip. So that's going to be the one that's down here. So that's not it. Unless these, does this come with bulbs? Oh, I just opened bulbs. It's late, you know. So this looks different. Haha, that's it. Okay. So there's these little boxes. Now, okay, there's 4 of them. Okay. So and then when I'm done, I can put all the garbage in the box. Smart thinking. So all of these should be the same. These are going to be your stands for the lights. So these all work the same way. They're in a box. They're in a bag. And they all have this little tip here on there. And all of these fixtures will have the same attachment box like that. Same idea anyway. It might not look the same, but that's how they attach to each other. So you can kind of see and they're separate lights. So these lights with the light box like this are the same kind, the same type that I already have. These ones are the ones with the umbrella. Umbrella. And that was a poor excuse for a song. Not this original, just me trying to sing it. Just saying. Reminds me of a Family Guy reference. You know, Stewie and Brian are walking down the road, and Brian starts singing something, and Stewie's like, "Hey, who sings that?" And Brian says, "You know, who's singing it?" And Stewie says, "Well, let's keep it that way." I'm inclined to believe that, you know, people should, you know, live their best life, but you know, I can't sing, so maybe I should leave it to the professionals. But I'll keep pursuing my passions anyway. So this is gonna hopefully I don't lose my voice. I still got a bunch of stuff to do here. A little scratchy. Here we go. High quality H2O. So you can kind of see how this is coming together with the light box up here and with this little thing down here. Curiosity, it's almost like a microphone. But yes, so that will. I'm curious. There's a little hole here at the base of this. I'm curious as to what the purpose is for the different colored diffusers, because I'm still new to all this. I'm not really sure how all that works. So we're on this journey together. That's really all we need to know. It's a magical journey, and not everybody has the answers, but I love looking and finding the answers. That's the fun part. And once I found the answers for one thing, well, I find something else to start looking for. So we definitely don't want the light to be directly shining type of thing. So that's why we have the diffuser. So I understand the principle behind, you know, the purpose of it. You know, so like, why do we have something? You can always ask the where, what, why, when, and why again. You know, you can always ask yourself those questions to figure something out, and then once you've established a baseline, you know where to go. So, for instance, what's the point of a diffuser? So when you have a diffuser on a light, it cuts how much light is coming through to make it softer. It doesn't necessarily minimize it. It could, depending on the diffuser, but it makes it so that the light shines instead of a direct light, like a pinhole light, laser light. You know, it diffuses the light so that it kind of shines, you know. Shine. So we have 3 different umbrellas here, and these ones seem like they look like just like the diffuser box. So that one basically reflects the light in a certain way. So this one definitely looks like a diffuser screen. So I wonder if the reason, and there's only one of those versus 2 of the black ones, which kind of tells me that you might have the light backwards to reflect, like, so it's a reflection instead of a direct light. So we're going to go ahead and use the white diffuser. And at this point, we're actually kind of losing some space because oh man, that is an umbrella. I just want to be clear with you. That is an umbrella. And right now we have such a tight camera angle that you're not going to be able to see what we're doing now. And so for the next part, I just want you to know my studio is in a messy state right now because I just moved, first of all, but also I'm putting together stuff. So keep that in mind and be kind, you know, when you're judging me. I suppose what I could do while I'm not getting hung up on this is I could probably get a light bulb in this and get it out of the way so that I can move on to the next thing, which is getting this light put together. So that's my plan. My planny plan. I got a plan. So this is going to go right in here like this. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, and I don't know how this is going to compare to the ones I already have, the graphies, is there were 4 light bulbs in those. Oh. It's the same one. I just confused myself. I was like, oh, I got 2 of those. No, it's just the one. So there was 4 light bulbs in my old ones. This one just has the 1. So it's safe to assume probably that they're not as bright. But that remains to be seen. So that I mean, I like that. I'm not sure. Oh, it's inside out. It's like, why was that so easy? Because it was inside out. That's why. So Velcro to Velcro. We turn that right side out, and then hopefully it's not. Hopefully it still remains simple. That's the hopefully. So it still wasn't all that difficult, so I like that. So I'm really in love with the ease of use here. It's really easy to set up. There really isn't a lot going on. It's simplistic, which is perfect for me and beginners. I mean, I'm sure you could probably, for some channels, you could probably get away with using this light setup indefinitely. We're going to move a camera real quick. So this is going to go behind the computer, and that's already set up. So we're going to take some time with that. We're going to widen out our shot here. Hopefully we can move our camera a little bit. Hopefully we didn't lose action here. If it cuts out, we will know. You know, the interesting thing about this is I never even checked the sound. So, well, maybe I did briefly at the beginning. Let's come back to the phone here. Yeah, sound's working just fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're watching and you want to jump in and chat real quick, I'm more than welcome to chat with you while I'm putting these together. If you have any questions about lighting or magic or whatever, this is a midnight jam session, if you will. It's 1 o'clock where I'm at. It's just kind of a hangout, and I work nights, so I'm kind of awake late. So this is a little bit bigger than what I had anticipated, which keep that in mind as well, because if you think about how you're going to be setting your stuff up, then you're going to want to know that you have the right space for what it is that you're going to do. So now, I don't know how this diffuser is supposed to work. It's new to me. I've seen them, but I haven't used them. So I don't know if it's reflective light is what is going on here. Let's take a look. There's soft boxes, continuous lighting kit for photo studio product, portrait and video shoot. So it kind of shows you how to put it together, but I don't know if it would explain the purpose. So it looks like it gives you kind of like an idea of where you should put stuff, maybe. I don't know if it And it looks like it actually comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or four lights. So you get the boxes. I got this in my way here. Is my camera even working? Hiding in the background there. Yeah. So it comes with 4. So you get 3 of these things, but you only get 2 of the others. So theoretically, like I said, I think it's the same setup as my other one. So I have a broken-ish, like I have one that doesn't have light bulbs. I could potentially use the updated fixture with my old stand and it should be fine. So you could do that. I mean, you could interchange some of these things, and that's fine. So I just need to figure out really like the purpose of these softbox diffusers. Like, so everything that's included. Pretty simple, straightforward setup. I guess the other thing that I'm kind of thinking about is when I get this set up and I have the when I have the second backdrop over here, is it going to change the way the light kind of moves around in here? Because right now there's like shadows up there and all that, but if I've got all this light happening, I'm like basically going to be in a light box. So there should be, with all this lighting capability, there should be next to no lighting problems, is my thoughts on that. So this is all set up here. I'm going to go to the Googles right now, and this is how we do our research. So we're just going to take a quick look here as to how to use the umbrella softbox. So it's a diffuser, just like I already said. So it's almost kind of straightforward, really, with some of this stuff. You do it long enough, and then you get an idea for how it works. So this one is the white one, and it is a diffuser. So you could point this at somebody, and it would work like a regular softbox. Then you have the reflective ones, which basically would allow you to point the light away, and then the reflective light shines back on the subject. So let's get one of these plugged in and see what it does. I mean, it's a light, but we want to see how it works with its surroundings. Now, the nice part about the desk that I have, if I could get to it at the moment, is that it actually has plugins. So I can plug stuff in to my desk. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so I think it has 2 plugins, and then it has some USB. So potentially for my desk, and this is a great setup to have here, is I can have chargers plugged in, but my ring light is a USB light, so I have that plugged into my desk. Okay, so we've got the diffuser light set up right here. It's kind of blocking the bigger camera. It's massive. So it's really a question, like this is why it's behind the scenes, right? Because you're not really going to see it all that much. Well, you shouldn't see it really at all. You should see the light. You should see the light, but not the light. How does it turn on? Okay, so this is the light facing like this way for me. And it's also one of those things that you can change the height. So the two different ways that you can use this is you can have it facing this way so that the light hits the diffuser and bounces back for some reflective light, or you can use it like a softbox and you can have the light going through the umbrella and splashing. You see the coolness? You can kind of see that. Like you can see how it goes from like a cool blue to a yellow. And so those are your different options for how you want to use this lighting. So right now, the lighting is facing the diffuser and away from me. And you can clearly see from the webcam, you see the light there, but then you can see the way that the light is splashing in my recorder down here. You can see it is lighting up the green screen, so it's really, breaking that up. So there's just some really good. Oh, see, that's fascinating how it's doing the green screen, because back here it's diffusing the green screen on one side, but it's actually really solid up top. So that's really another reason why you'd have multiple lights. So that's a brief note to have, is that there are different locations, different slots, if you will. Slots 1 through 6, basically of where your lights you want to be. First, you want to have your ambient light that's in the area. You want to have the subject light, which is me. Then you want to have the backlit light, which is behind you. And then you also want to have your top light, which is basically your in-between spaces. And that's only 4, but you can have more too, because you can also add in diffuser lights. You can add in colorful lights. So you can, if you wanted to, say your backdrop is lit, but then you want to shine like a big, blue circle. Then you'd have the blue, or you could do like a copper lighting. There's so many different options. So you have these different slots to how you want to use that. So again, most of the time you would not see the lights. So when I have this set up, I will have it set up behind. Hit the camera. I'll have it set up behind the desk, shining towards me, or I'll have it off to the sides. Unfortunately, in the basement, I don't really have an option for an overhead light, but I do have an overhead light fixture, which my plan for the overhead light fixture is to get a filtered light, a filtered LED light that I can change the settings on. And I think when I bumped to the camera, I did lose it. Let's see if I can bring it back to life. Come on, buddy. Come on, man. You can do it. I lost it. Sorry, I just bumped you. Please. Wake up. So now I've got 2 of my lights put together. I don't know if that camera is going to be able to come back right now. So let's, we're just going to switch over to this. So you can clearly see that there's some good diffusion. And I've got this, I love the Lego shirts, but they just don't work with the green screen because of the green in the background there. So I've got the light here. And then I've got the other light going on back there. Now I've got the other backgrounds. Now, really, I have to think about how I want to set up my... So let's... trip me out, man. We're going to turn off our I'm gone. So that's what I look like without the green screen. So there he is. Yeah. So I've got these, and these were the same ones that I've already got. In fact, they actually look... They look a little bit different, which is good. I like that. Updating, upgrading, getting a little bit better every time. So I have to really think about how I want my setup to be, because it's still a similar setup with the backdrop. I have a second one of these now that I am going to put over here, but then I have to think about doorways. I have to think about how I'm going to get in and out, which right now I've got over here. If I move this down slightly, it gives me about a foot, so I could potentially have an opening over here. So that's something that I have to think about. Now, that's a different project. We have 2 of the 4 lights put together. We have a light box, which I already have light boxes. I have one right here that's not even on. I do want to turn this around, though, because I don't really like it there. But I'm wondering where I would put it. So I do have another outlet that I can put another light into, which I have that right there. So technically, with the space that I have right here, I have 3 lights set up that I don't really need at the present time. Now I have this one over here, so let's go ahead and turn this one on. So this is my old one, and that's going to take a couple of seconds to catch up there. And so this is what it would look like. Hello. Welcome back, JC Magic, to do some fantastic magic with you today. Waha. Now, the next thing I have to really work on is, because I do a lot of card reviews, is my exposure. I need to get my numbers up, Lighting joke, you know what I'm saying? Right now I'm whitewashed, right? Right now I'm too heavy on the exposure. So if I come into here, that's what the diffuser is for, is to minimize the amount of exposure. It's one of the things that you want. Is if I turn this around, you should notice immediately a change, at least on this side. So that breaks that, like I was saying before, instead of the light shining onto my face like that, what it does is it takes the light and it spreads it over the surface of the diffuser, and then it makes it come out all together in a more even pattern, so you don't have like a shiny spot. Like if I were to lift this up, you could see the shiny spot here, but when I bring that back down, it almost makes it look shadowed, but it's just diffusing the light over a larger surface. Now this one this one is not my friend. This one's too bright. And so most of the time what I do with these is I actually only put on one side. Because like I said, there's 4 lights in there. So now it's a little bit better. Hello. So ideally what I would do is I would get this into a position where you don't see it. And the best way to do that probably would be to put the cord behind the laptop and bring it to the back. Okay. So now we're in a position where we have probably light bulbs. So that's a light bulb. And this is another one of the umbrella mounts. So now let's bring this over to here. So I'm not a big fan of this table set up like this because some of the videos that I do are a face-to-face type thing, and I like you to see my hands because otherwise I got to do the magic up here. But if I'm doing a talking head video, this actually does kind of work out a little bit better because then if I have something on the table that I want, props that I want to show you, like if I'm doing a instructions, like, hey, these are the instructions for this lighting set, I can keep it down here and reference it, but without cluttering up the space, if you will. Like right now I've got these right here behind me, which is fine. I mean, it's part of the purpose of the video. So it's fine to have stuff in your video that correlates to what you're doing. And when you're doing a longer video, you want to make sure you stay hydrated. In all things in life, you want to make sure you stay hydrated. So always have a drink on hand. I have my phone here, so if I need to do some research, that potentially helps out. And what I'm using here is just like a TV tray with my close-up pad on it for magic. So, and I just flashed some funny business. I love it. This is I'm putting together a routine with these props that I just saw them, and I was like, I kind of need those in my life, you know. You ever have that happen? You ever just see something and you're like, you know, that speaks to me? Well, these do. Okay, so let's figure out what we're going to do here. So now that we've got the idea of what the lighting is, we've got two different options here. I really love having the diffuser here, and I really wish it came with two of the white ones. I get it. I would almost forego a softbox for another diffuser for the umbrella, just because I like it. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a good reason, but I like it. But I do want to give one of these a try for some reflective light, because as it is right now, let's go ahead and take a look-see. So you can actually see up above my head here, I think it's on this side, and I'm actually kind of seeing how far behind my video is from my live stream. So just keep in mind that it's usually 20 seconds. So I think it's the right side, and now I'm just here pointing for a while. There's actually a white thing. Yeah, perfect. So there's actually like this white dot up above my right shoulder up here, which is the light that's behind the green screen. I hope to get rid of that by hanging a black, I actually have a blackout curtain. I hope to hang that behind the green screen to cut off light from the back. So then the only light that you're going to get is the light that I want to come forward. So all those little things you got to think about. You're building out your studio. You want to see where your lighting's at. You want to know what type of equipment you want to use. I did have a separate camera, but I think I might have gotten rid of it. It's time for an upgrade for another camera. I do have the cell phone that I can use as a camera using Droid Cam through OBS. So I have multiple cameras, and now I have multiple lightings. And I have this L-shaped desk that I'm not really in love with anymore for the purposes of how it's set up. So I think what I might want to do is I'm probably going to consider changing the way that I have it set up so that the desk is not my primary setup for my studio. Because when I have you can see it right here to the side. So you can see the desk here. And I'm not a huge fan of how that looks. Now I could potentially move the computer into the corner and have it facing out this way. But then I feel like it's taking up like the middle section of the desk. And then it just feels weird to be at an angle. I don't know. So there's lots of things to consider there. And so just as a checklist, I want to look at getting another video camera, but I don't necessarily need one right now. I have a microphone on the way, another microphone, and hopefully the volume is working okay. With my voice, you hear that raspiness. It's just like it's losing tonicity. You know, it's a little bit better, but the raspiness to it. Yeah, so just thinking about how I want this set up, because right now, keeping in mind that the backdrop, let's see how close it is. It's right there. So on camera, it actually looks like I'm touching it with the back of my chair, but it's actually like a foot and a half away. And I don't like that because it looks like I'm like it's already confined enough with the box. So I need to figure out how can I make it so that it looks like it's further away, and so I have room. And it's really interesting because it almost comes across as like gray in the video. Let me see how it looks now with both lights on for my green screen. Let's see here. So I think we're gonna start fresh. So in order to get the green screen with the OBS, it's called the chroma key filter, and yeah. Spooky. I'm still very bright. So sometimes when you mess with it a little bit, it does mess. Like now I'm a ghost, which I guess that's okay. It's Halloween time. I'm a ghost. Bring me back. I'm a spooky ghost. Layered effects. Layered effects. It's fun times. I'm so pale. And it doesn't help that I have this green shirt on. And what I've also noticed is that sometimes the blue will mess up with that too. With the lighting, sometimes the blue is red as green. Blue is red as green. You can kind of see it in there a little bit. The yellow disappears too. So this shirt is definitely not green screen friendly. Now, something else to consider is that I'm actually about 2 feet away from the wall. So I could push the desk all the way back to the wall again, which would then open up that space, because right now I've just got this little opening right here, which theoretically would work. I could probably use the poles for my lighting to hold up my backdrop, because I don't really need it to be perfect. And I can use the desk as the brace and put it like in the corner. But then I run into this problem because of the way that I use this green screen is it's actually supposed to be used long ways. So you're supposed to have the green screen tall running down and onto the floor. And I've actually got it stretched out the long way across, which means there's a couple inch gap at the top, and then there's a couple, like a foot, about a foot gap at the bottom. So if I move the table back and leave the green screen there, then you can kind of see out the bottom. So that's kind of where all these ideas and thoughts and concepts really culminate together, is to figure out what the best layout is. What I could potentially do, because I have an extra one, and because I plan on hanging it up to cover up this light here, is I can hang the black one down so that potentially when I have it set up, you just see black underneath and not like underneath the tarp. So that's an idea, I guess. And how long have I been going here? It's almost been an hour. Fantastic. We love it. We love chatting with you and showing you all the fun stuff. And I mean, really, subscribe. Like the video, subscribe if you're watching now or in the future. And if you are interested in this lighting stuff, I'll put the link down below. You can also find it on one of my recent videos, and you can pick it up from Amazon. It is an affiliate link, so I will get paid a commission on it. But I stand by this equipment. I've had the Graphy for years, and it's the same kind of product. I have had little issue with the actual product itself. The only issue that I had was with the lights, but the lights aren't going to last forever. But the light boxes, I could probably use a new diffuser or wash it. I could probably wash it. But other than that, it's not a problem whatsoever with these light features and the backdrops. I mean, this thing, I've had this for years. I think the black one that I had did get ruined, but for a different reason. I was using it for something it wasn't intended for, and so I'm not going to rate it based on that. And to be honest, I don't even think it was me using it for that purpose. It was something else entirely that caused it to end up ripping. But again, not for the intended purpose. And two, something else had to then still act upon it that was out of my control. So anywho, anybody want to chat? Anybody have anything they want to ask? Hypnosis. This is a recent review that I did on the channel, and I'm remiss because I forgot to even... so this was a collaboration with Murphy's Magic. Go figure. I completely missed that in the review, and so you can check them out on Amazon as well. They're like $6. And these are the V2s, apparently. Are they? Does it say that on here? Yeah, like I wouldn't. This is what it said on Amazon. So it says it's from Murphy's Magic collaboration, and that it's designed for Magic or for card games. And the fact that it's only like $5 and some change, $6. Grab it. I'll put the link below for these as well. And they're beautiful. But like I said, these are V2s, so they're a different colorway. So this is the point that I was making earlier. So keeping in mind your camera angles and things like this, let me show you. I tipped down the laptop, and that should open up the range for seeing my hands, but having the table too low. I'd want my table to be the same height as the base of the camera with where I want it for my vision line. And right now, having to close the laptop doesn't work, So now you can see the stuff slightly, but then you see that gap down there at the bottom of the green screen. So now it's just there's this interesting aspect when you use this type of equipment in your setup, is that if you're trying to create a specific vision, then you want to make sure that you can maintain that consistently. So keep in mind, if you have to move your camera, what's going to happen? You know, what is going to be exposed now that you might not want to have to be exposed, good or bad. Like it's just a matter of just knowing what's going on around you in your studio. Like I'll be I'm gonna be 100% with you. I have a pile of clothes, like partially costume stuff that you've seen me wear, and my coats just piled up over here because I had a closet, like a pop-up closet, and when I moved, it fell apart. So I don't have it anymore. So I don't have a space for that stuff now. And yeah, I mean, so it's just one of those types of things. I mean, you don't want to have a pile of clothes and stuff like that. Right here, what I have underneath there is it's the basement. So behind this, I have a pile of Christmas decorations. So it's, it's not Christmas time. Well, that was fancy, but that's not what I was going for. You know what they call this? Showing off. That's what happens. The other thing that I didn't realize about the deck is it's so deceptive in a way, but it's a one-way design, which is fine, but I don't even know. There could be other mysteries that I don't even know about the deck because it was created by in collab with a magic shop. So let me take a look here real quick to see if there's any fancy things here that I should have observed before. Da, 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 do, do, do. Reveal your secrets. I'm not seeing any like reveals or anything like that. Yeah, so I don't see anything like that. So I have to consider how I want to put up my other backdrop. I have some shelving units down here. And the other thing that I've got to figure out is where my extension cord is, because the only light outlets down here are in the outlets on the ceiling. So right now I have a power cord hanging straight down. And unfortunately, I can't really keep it there because that side of the room is where I want my wife's space to go. And as it is right now, I have my power cord for my studio hanging in the middle of it. So that's not going to work. So I've got to get that over here. And the other thing that I'm, like, my side has a finished ceiling-ish, like a tiled ceiling. That side over there is not, there's no ceiling over there. So that's not really ideal. But, I had first pick, I guess. So getting my little square sectioned off and then getting her section kind of set up as kind of like a lounge space and, comfort space over there is the plan. And so I've got the backdrop, then I want to get that figured out. And then figure out where I want my desk to be so I still have a big enough area. Because theoretically, if I put you back up where you were, then it's straight on. If I back up to the screen without like, so that should be pretty good right there. It still isn't quite where I want it to be, but I have some space that I can mess around with here. So let me show you that. And this is not ideal. This is the kind of setup that you would want to do like before you do it. So just figure out where your best angle is, which is making sure that the base of that green screen is not used up or not exposed. And then I back up and bring this like right in there. And now I can like, I'm comfy right here. But yeah, I'm laughing because, is this your card? You can barely see it. I mean, I'm not like entirely blind, but I can't see the screen. And I don't even have my microphone like facing towards me. But you can kind of still hear me at this. Like if I come back forward a little bit and turn my mic towards me like this, then it's facing towards me. So that's good. And you can see the table. And you can see, you know, different parts of what's going on. So if I were to do, say, a pretty simple shuffle, the triangle shuffle, I just made it up. Have a card selected. That card today will be, I got two of them. Well, I guess we'll use both of them, that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and put the jack on the table. So the 4 is in the pack. Okay. Take the jack. Just like so. Okay. Now, theoretically, both cards should be in the pack. But all we've got to do is snap and wave. And the first card jumps to the top. It's the jack. Ha-ha. It was the last one we put in, and it was the first one to appear on top. And that's the little fidget thing that some of the people I've been watching have suggested that you don't do. So I just did it. Now, the other one was the 4 of clubs. Let's see if we can bring it to the top. Nope, it's the 7. Figured it out. We forgot to snap and to wave. Because with a snap and the wave, it brings the 4 to the top. It only took an hour, but we finally got to the magic. It's not terrible. It's not the best, but what I do like about it is that it doesn't seem to be as whitewashed. The exposure doesn't seem to be too terrible. You can still kind of see what it is from here. Like I can tell that's the 4 of clubs. I mean, you might think it's the 4 of spades. That one's a little bit harder. I can't quite tell. I can't even tell it's red. So if I were to say, you know, hey, this is the red jack, the jack of diamonds, then that's probably fine. Magic. I love it. I love it. It's really kind of like a passion of mine. That's good stuff. So it looks good. I mean, what's all the purpose for? What's the purpose of setting up the lighting if I'm not gonna, use it for what the purpose, which is to get better at magic, right? And it's not so much because I gotta practice get better at magic, but for performance reasons, if I'm here doing a deck review and I show you the back of the card and you can't see it because it's too shiny, like this is literally right to the light. See the difference? Like I don't know if it's my ring light that's there or if it's like I'm literally holding this up to my old lighting and it's, look at that. What card is this? I don't know. What card is this? But I'm holding it to this light and it's not, that's perfect. So I'm definitely probably going to move the boom light out, and I've got my other light box I just put together that's going to probably take its place. So I'll have the other lighting for other things, but I think that maybe if I wanted to have a separate setup, then I could probably do that, because I know that I'm going to be hopefully starting a podcast. I've got 2 podcast ideas, one attached to this channel and then one that's separate. And so I might need the lighting for that setup. Yeah, there's that. I think that's a wrap on this. I think that we've been here for a little over an hour. I ran out of water. The lighting is fairly, it's exquisite in a way. It looks good and it works phenomenally. I love it. I think it's an excellent lighting that it compacts so nice. That's what I love about it. Like I said at the beginning when I was opening it, I can put this light up and take it down maybe 20 minutes for the whole setup. So if I were going to do photography or do like a video shoot, I'd have all this all set up. No problem. 20 minutes probably if I practiced with practice. And then I've got the bag. It comes with the whole bag. So it's very mobile. So it's a beautiful setup. And yeah, we got 3 people watching. Like the video. I just, just like it. I don't know. You don't have to like it, but unless you like it, then like it. But leave a comment. I want to chat with people. I don't know if I could have burnt my finger earlier. I was making some food, but I can't quite get a good bridge in here. Click the button. Subscribe. We're working on our voices. As I said, it is early. It's almost 2 in the morning, and I am having a blast. I do magic. I'm in fact a magic man to most. Some just call me Magic Boy. That number keeps going up and down. Big fan. Subscribe. This is the Q&A portion of the video, just in case you want to ask a question. Just thinking of what else I can do with the lighting. Like I said, I want to move that one out. The ring light may have what do I want to do with the ring light? Because I don't feel like I really need it anymore. If I fall asleep, just drop a comment and wake me right up. I feel like this is the promotional role for the movie, like the pre-roll. Like if you're just sitting there and it's got like the play screen, play movie, extra scenes, options, all that. This is just me hanging out like, just push the button. Play the movie already. I'm trying to remember what it was. I definitely will not be able to bring it to mind right now. But there was an interview that I was watching that they said that they recorded like hours. It was like 3 hours of that like pre-roll video that would play on that home screen for that movie, and I can't remember what it was. Like they really just wanted to mess with people, like who would sit there for that long. Because sometimes it's only like a couple of minutes and then it starts over. But this one had like, they just had some guy riffing for like hours. Just, yeah, we're just gonna, pay you to come into the studio today just to like hang out on camera and just, be you, just in character, just have fun with it. And why not? I'd do it. I'm doing it right now. I'm dressed up in my Lego costume. Got my hat on, playing with my cards, doing some voices. Subscribe. It really helps out the channel. I can just see that being one of the things. I gotta update my trailer for my channel. I was just watching the old one. It had a couple hundred views, but it was old. So it's like, yeah, maybe I should update that. It was still when I was doing card reviews and Magic Theory, which wasn't that long ago that I was doing that. Wee. Joke's on you. I'm yawning. But that was just misdirection for the Joker. This time I'm not even going to use misdirection. I'm just, ow. I hurt my hand. Was that the misdirection? It sure was, because guess what? The Joker is in the middle. I was practicing the classic pass. I've always just been like a fan of the turnover pass that I learned from Alex Pandrea's video years ago. You basically just have them select a card. You're not even picking pick a card, any card. No, it's like, hey, just imagine any one of these cards, like the 7 of Diamonds, which is my favorite card. And if you really think about it enough, you can actually get that card to appear in your hand. Yeah, from over here to over here, that card appears right there. Now, that type of setup really doesn't work for me in a way, thinking my way through that now, because so you're having a card selected at random, say the Jack. Now, if you have that card controlled and then you immediately find it, like this particular find is from the center, right? Well, that doesn't really seem Doesn't seem as magical to me to do it that way. Because the card was in the center. Like, this is what it's supposed to play out as. The card was in the center, and then you just cut the deck and found it in the center. Well, you already knew where it was because you just saw it. So you like, oh, it's a break or whatever. So I've got the Joker. A better way to possibly do that would be to potentially, not have to go back to the deck like that. Is anytime that you try to cut from there, it doesn't really make sense to me. I think I lost it. But yeah, that doesn't seem to work out for me. I don't think I like that as much. So the best way, probably not the only way, but a good way to do it is you take the Ace of Hearts, and then you want to get it controlled. And obviously they don't know that you're controlling it. They don't know what you're doing with it. You don't even know what I'm doing with it, because I got the Jack of Spades here, right? If I take the Jack of Spades and I just warm it up just ever so slightly. Oh, it's too hot. I got to get some breeze into it. You'll actually see it start to change into the ace. Yeah. And if we take that and we put it in here, it'll actually jump back to the top. Now, this is one of my personal favorites. I just did this a little bit ago. This was a Chris Ramsey thing. It just appears on the top. And if you do that correctly, it appears so magical. I'm actually going to watch myself do it. A little bit of a fumble here as I'm watching the back there. It's in, push it in, very nice. And then it's on top. Oh, man, beautiful. So, this is fun times. Nobody's commenting, nobody's liking my stuff. Subscribe. It really helps the channel. So I have 6,000 subscribers. So that's fun. What do I do from here? Well, get better lighting. That's for sure. Better lighting, better magic, Papa John's. Not sure if that's not really right. Anywho, I'm actually kind of curious who the second person is. Oh, it's probably me. Let's see if I can get rid of this. Because it says 2 people watching. Would that be me? I don't know. I don't know how it works. So I was watching it on the computer and on my phone, and it just disappeared. So yeah, it was me the whole time. I was watching myself. And I can't really reach it from here, but I could do it over here. But like, haha, I'm watching myself on a video. I'm like, I like it. I like the video so much. I love the video so much. And that lighting is so good. Yay. Oh man, I should probably go to bed. I got 2 people. Oh, it's just me again. Oops. Well, there's 3 people here and 2 of them are me. The third one is still me. I like this Jesse Champlin guy. He's great. I'm gonna go to his channel. No hands. So I have 3 tables. I've got some stands over there that I want to get over here. Might be able to push the desk back. I don't really need the green screen for anything else, so I theoretically could hang the second one down underneath this one. And I don't know how that line would really look. And then I could have a screen that way and a screen that way. But how would I get in and out? That's the real question. These are the real questions we ask ourselves at 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, I appreciate anybody who watched this video now or in the future. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Don't forget to click those buttons below, those links below if you want to purchase anything from Amazon. It really helps out the channel, especially this new lighting set, as well as these Hypnosis cards. Yeah, so just check out Amazon, buy some stuff. It is an affiliate link, so I do get paid for that, which helps out the channel. As I said, there's super thanks. Mostly what if you do the super thanks, if you want a deck review, just let me know in the super thanks comment. Hey, review this deck, and I'll buy the review. I'll buy the deck with the super thanks, and then it will go into a special box that I will use as a giveaway at the end of the year. So if one deck is donated, I donate 1 deck at the end of the year. If it's 20 decks, I donate 20 decks at the end of the year to a big giveaway, to a fantastic card review giveaway. So yeah, there's all that to keep in mind. There are people showing up now. Go ahead and comment. Comment on the video. Like, comment, subscribe. All the buttons. I scared them away. I've scared them away. I'm scary. Anyway. Feel free to drop a comment. We're going to give it another 60 seconds before we sign off. I really appreciate all of the views I've been getting lately. I'm so excited. The channel is on the rise. So I'm just practicing this move, getting those angles right. We've got the 5 of diamonds. You're going to take the 5 of diamonds and simply make it disappear into the pack. No holds, no breaks, no nothing. And then you simply drop the cards onto the deck, and it appears as if by magic. So if you do it fast enough with the frame of the eye or the frame of the camera, this is really what happens, is that it just appears as if the card magically appears on top, because you can clearly see nothing in the hand, and there's a face down card here, but it's face up. So it's fast enough that it just appears like real magic. And with that, we're going to call this a wrap. Like a spicy tuna roll. I don't know. Why'd you have to go and ruin it? Thank you, everybody. Remember, always remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you. Did I say all 3 of them? Positive, active, awesome? Fantastic. We'll see you next time.